So I bought two very exciting fragrances from the house of Guerlain while I was on trip in France. And one of them turned out to be really great, which is Neroli Vetiver in the Aqua Allegoria collection. The other one turned out to be a complete dud, and that fragrance is Habit Rouge L'Instinct. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about Habit Rouge L'Instinct, and then also compare it to the original, which is in the Eau De Toilette concentration here, and then the Eau De Parfum as well. And while I'm at it, I thought that Habit Rouge L'Instinct might be kind of sort of similar to L'Eau, but it's not at all. Anyway, find out all about Habit Rouge L'Instinct coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today I'm talking about Habit Rouge L'Instinct. Have you guys gotten your nose on it? Is this an exciting fragrance for you guys? I actually did an anticipation video of this particular fragrance, and it was announced as a fragrance in the new bottle. As you can see in the previous bottle, it's like this. So they've changed bottles now. All the Guerlain men's fragrances are in square bottles like this, and this was the first new fragrance in any men's fragrances to come out in this particular bottle. I'm still not sure if I like this bottle series. It seems a little more modern. I kind of like the older looking bottles because they do remind me of the Guerlain fragrances, whereas these bottles here are more of the L'Eau Medial collection bottles. But either way, that's been done. All the fragrances are now in this bottle, as I said, and now we have L'Instinct, Habit Rouge L'Instinct, and yeah, I'm very disappointed about this particular fragrance. It's actually very much a fragrance I would never wear. Unfortunately, I'm trying to really appreciate it, and I really cannot force myself to wear this one because even though they don't mention the notes, it goes very marine on me, something very sulphuric, and I don't know what that is, and it's almost a turnoff. It doesn't go quite bad where I have to like really wash it, but there's something in it that is not very pleasant for me. At least for me, it's not. Is it for you guys? Either way, find out about this. Before I do let you know all about this, though, if this is your first time tuning into this channel and you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. Is this a fragrance you guys have been anticipating? I was very excited about this, and also Neroli Vetiver, as I said. Neroli Vetiver turned out great. This one didn't, but this is a 2022 launch created by Delphine, Jelk, and Thierry. It's Eau De Toilette concentration. 100 ml sells for $125. It is on the Guerlain USA website. It's a woody ambery fragrance. I'm also going to go and say it's Aquatic-Marine because there's that major component of something kind of fishy sulphuric in here. As soon as it's sprayed on, it's on me. I can smell it. I'm very sensitive to this. It's almost like there's cologne in it. It's got this kind of fishiness, this sulphuric sea overdose in it, which most of the time it's a turnoff. And here it's not at the stage of me going and washing my hand, but it's almost getting there, which doesn't attract me to this particular fragrance, which is a sad thing because I don't notice that at all with any of the Habit Rouge flankers. This is the one that very much so disappoints me. But this features notes of some kind of a citrus up top because I'm getting a lot of citruses. Perhaps it's bergamot, but they don't credit bergamot here. There's definitely in the heart Neroli and Jasmine, and finally in the base notes leather, oud wood, vanilla, and patchouli. And no mention of marine notes, no mention of cologne or something similar to this note, which is the synthetic note to create an aquatic marine fragrance experience. And it's an overdose in here. It's almost like a rotting egg kind of a smell. I'm wearing it here, and it just overpowers. It kind of takes over, and it's an immediate, because I'm very sensitive to it, it's an immediate turnoff kind of a thing. I thought when I first smelled it while I was shopping in France, I thought it might be just something very minute, but it gets stronger and stronger on me. Stronger as in not necessarily like amplified, but it just stays there. It doesn't really disappear. Sometimes certain notes disappear, but whatever they've wrapped this fragrance with, this kind of marine kind of a thing, it just overwhelms and just takes over. So I'm trying to enjoy the vanillic qualities because Habit Rouge is known for vanilla. There's not much vanillic sweetness, but it's there. It's just covered with the cologne marine, you know, sulphuric kind of smell. Leather, there's a little leathery experience here, but similar. It's kind of covered with that sulphuric experience, oud as well. Same thing. It's covered in this sulphuric thing. Even the patchouli, I just don't get very, very distinct smells. None of the base notes, the leather, the oud wood, the vanilla, and the patchouli, are so distinct to stand out. In fact, I think the most thing that's really distinct here is the top note, which the Guerlain website doesn't really credit, of the citruses, because it's quite a citrusy start. It's also a very marine start, so I'm assuming there's like an overdose of something marine and also citrusy up top. But the thing is, they jump right to the heart notes experience, but they're missing out on claiming that this is a marine experience and not crediting some kind of a marine or note along with the citrus, because it's very citrusy and also very, very marine aquatic, and there's no mention of it. At least for me it is. Maybe people experience fragrances differently. I'm very sensitive, and this is the kind of note that really turned me off of aquatic marine fragrance, because they can end up smelling like rotting eggs, you know, old eggs and sulphuric and fish and things like that. So it's very, very prominent here, and I'm surprised that the Guerlain website doesn't even mention it. But you know, you do experience a little bit of the floral touches in the heart, but it's still covered over with that marineness. It's like an overdose of marineness. So it's a very disappointing release for me. At least this is the reason why it's disappointing for me. Maybe if that marine quality was stripped away, it might be a little better. But to me, it doesn't smell anything like Habit Rouge, the original. Once again, we've got a flanker of a fragrance series that doesn't smell anything like it. Yeah, it might have light hints of it, very, very light, but these are not related fragrances, absolutely not. This should not have been called Habit Rouge. Just like Alien Goddess from Mugler last year doesn't smell anything like Alien. They should create a new fragrance. This should have been a new fragrance. In fact, they should not have released this fragrance because I don't care for it whatsoever. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Because that marine experience lingers on so much in this fragrance, it's quite a long-lasting fragrance for an Eau De Toilette, but it's not a beastly fragrance. The only thing that's really beastly is the longevity, but it's very close to the skin experience. It doesn't scream whatsoever. So if you like the idea of a lingering fragrance, but not necessarily overdose of, you know, sillage and projection and things like that, you should try it. But I don't know, it's not to my taste. It's not my cup of tea. This is completely disappointing, and I'm bummed that it is, because I was so looking forward to this particular fragrance, and it does not deliver whatsoever. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Habit Rouge L'Instinct from the House of Guerlain. Have you sampled it yet? Are you curious to sample it? Has anyone even started carrying it here in the States? I think Saks in New York City has a pretty big collection of Guerlain fragrances. Maybe they have it there, but I don't know. But let me know if you're curious to sample it, and if you have sampled it, what do you think about it, as I'd like to find out. I'm going to move over and describe to you a little bit of the Eau De Toilette version of Habit Rouge, and then also the Eau De Parfum version of Habit Rouge, and how it might relate to the L'Instinct. So originally, Habit Rouge in the Eau De Toilette concentration came out in '65. Habit Rouge in the Eau De Parfum concentration came out in 2003. And around that time, I believe, when the Eau De Parfum version launched, they actually reformulated the original Eau De Toilette for modern noses. I was a big fan of the Eau De Parfum originally. Lately, I've gotten really into the Eau De Toilette. I mean, originally I had smelled the Eau De Toilette from, you know, dad and things like that, relatives, but I didn't really get into Habit Rouge until the Eau De Parfum came out. And then, of course, now I've rediscovered the Eau De Toilette, and it smells fantastic. Both of them are created by Jean-Paul Guerlain. Both of them are warm, spicy, with the addition of citruses. Lots of lemony touches here. And that's the thing. Perhaps the top notes here is not bergamot, it's lemon, but I don't get a lemoniness that I do with these two. I get more of a bergamot because it's almost like a non-distinct. But here, in both of these, there's definitely a distinct lemony, citrusy quality, which makes for a great experience. And then both of them are also kind of amber floral experience as well. There's definitely floral touches and a very ambery touch as well. There's woods in the background, which this particular fragrance is. It does have the floral touches, but this is more of an amber woody. But as I said, it's something more marine aquatic as well. Here we've got class. I know it's classic, but it's definitely classy. It's, you know, gentlemanly, warm, spicy fragrance. Here it's gone very, very modern. And I think marine aquatic fragrances are very, very modern and popular with younger noses. Perhaps that's why this is going that kind of sulphuric marine experience. Maybe. I don't know. But for me, both of these are very, very classy, historic fragrances. And the L'Instinct should not have been called Habit Rouge. At least it should not have. And once again, it doesn't have anything to do with smelling like the original fragrances. It's a complete new fragrance, while maybe very, very lightly hinting at something like the original fragrances. But I am obsessed with the Eau De Toilette currently. I really love it. I used to find it to be a lot more lemony, citrusy, but right now I'm experiencing a combination of amber, vanillic, you know, the florals and the warmth and the spiciness with that kind of lemony citrus. It smells really, really fantastic. I love it. It really, really is great. A couple more things. I did test the low. This is the only amount I have of the low from Guerlain's Habit Rouge. And for me, I didn't care for low while I had Habit Rouge Eau De Toilette and Eau De Parfum. Now I really like the low when I'm comparing it to the L'Instinct. The L'Instinct, that sulphuric marine thing just totally overwhelms. As I said, here it's kind of a watery take on Habit Rouge, but it's actually good now that I've compared it to L'Instinct. Anybody a fan of this one? Do let me know. And then finally, the dress code version where they took Habit Rouge into that gourmand direction. It's so good. This is really, really great. This is what I have in one bottle. And I also have another of this that has not been opened yet, that's completely full. In the first drop, because what they were doing with this was they were releasing a new bottle every year, and I wasn't sure if they actually changed the smell a little bit. I wasn't sure. I never got those, but I did end up getting, maybe I have 2 more bottles of this. I can't remember exactly, but I had a friend bring it back from France when it launched, and I found out it was a limited edition, things like that. But they did add a little bit of a chocolate praline kind of a note in here, which made it delicious. But again, both of these flankers, and these are the only 2 Habit Rouge flankers I have, did smell like Habit Rouge with a little different direction, whereas the new L'Instinct doesn't really smell like Habit Rouge to me whatsoever, and it's a major, major disappointment. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the new Habit Rouge L'Instinct from the House of Guerlain. Very disappointing release. Let me know if you guys are very, curious to discover that particular fragrance, or are you going to skip it and move on to something else? I'd like to find out. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.